I should be going live. I'm just making sure that it's actually going to show up on the stream. Yes, we are officially live. Okay. All right, so the game has started. And if you can hear the game playing a little bit, please don't report me to YouTube. And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, that didn't take long, did it? Who was that? Was it Corey? Oh my gosh. This is exactly what I think we need to do, which is start off like this, start strong, and wow. Well, that didn't take long, did it? Let me refresh this so I can update our score line here. And look at that. My goodness, guys. Wow. Well, that start couldn't have been any more perfect because that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about was how dangerous the front line of Salford can be, and I knew we had to at least put one or two up in this game to get a victory. I would say we need two to actually be comfortable or at least be okay with this. I don't think a one goal lead is enough, but wow. I mean, forgive me a little bit here for being a little giddy, but I mean, come on, guys. I mean, that's pretty much the perfect start that we could have asked for. And give me 1 second here. Let me make sure that I've got. Okay, just wanted to make sure the sound was working. But my gosh, what a start! What a start! I mean, Salford, the Nigerian guy. What is his name? Udo. He. Oh gosh, here we go. But he's been absolutely dangerous. He and oh gosh, what's his name? Let me see here. Let me check the lineup here real quick for Salford. He and Harris have been absolutely lethal in League Two, and I knew we were going to have to put up. I still think I know this is a great start, but I still think we're going to need one more to even for us to even smile. But my goodness, what a start! And I see some people that are watching. Make sure, genuinely, I want to give back to you guys for making me feel good about being a Grimsby supporter. And if you're watching in the chat, leave a comment. And if you read my pinned comment there, I'm gonna buy a subscriber doesn't necessarily have to be a beer, but I'm gonna buy them a drink of their choice every month. Not the same person, but I'm gonna do a different draw at the end of the month every month. All you got to do is comment on the video. I've got my I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I've got my notepad right here where I'm writing down the names of everybody who comments on it, and I'm going to put a wheel, like a spin the wheel kind of thing, and someone's going to win a beer on the channel. So make sure you drop a comment on that. And if you are watching the replay of this, just know that if you the replay of this comment, I'm not going to count toward the beer. Screw it. Yeah, I will. If you comment on the replay of this too, I'm going to put you down for the beer as well. And all you got to do is just like and comment and be a subscriber. That's the only rule. You don't even necessarily have to like the video. Just comment and be a subscriber. That's the only criteria. And I'm definitely going to try to give back to you guys what I can. And I know it's not much, but it's a start. And I definitely want to keep building a relationship with you guys because you all have supported me over the year quite a bit. And I definitely appreciate that. But let me see here. I'm kind of watching on a smaller screen. Let's see here. Let me enlarge this on my other computer here. All right, so we're 5 minutes in. I mean, couldn't have been a better start. I've got the game on mute, so I'm not able to hear Maddie's voice and see how excited he is. But I'm sure he loved the start of this, and I wanted to get into a little bit of some matchups, but the start of this game kind of threw me off a little bit. I mean, that was electric. But as I was saying before, before the goal came, um, Harris and Udo, I believe they are lethal in League Two, and I am interested to see how we match up and try to slow them down a little bit. I believe I could be wrong about this. I would have to look it up, which I might just look it up on the screen right now. But I believe Udo has sorry, we're attacking right now, so I'm a little distracted. Oh, you're kidding me. I didn't see who got the shot on that. Was that Burns? It was just a bit outside. Oh my gosh, that was. Let me watch the replay of this. Yeah, that was Burns. Wow, what a shot from distance too. If somebody would have been there on the, if somebody would have got just a little bit of something on that, that would have went in. Maybe Green might have had a chance at that. But anyway, back to Salford. Harris and Udo, I believe Harris has the most assists on the team, and I believe Udo has the most goals on the team. Let me see here real quick. Can I look at the stats of this? I'm not really familiar with FotMob. I don't really use them that much here, but it works for this. Let me see here. Oh, it's only got the today's matchup for it. I don't want to completely get off the screen and get off. Let me see. Can I click here? Stats. Yeah, so he's got 4 goals and wow, 6 assists, and Harris has 5. Okay. That was a little bit more. That was more assists than I thought he had. But let's go back to the actual game channel here. All right. So anyway, back to the chat. I see more people that joined. Make sure you drop a comment so your name will be in the letting me buy you a beer drawing, which sounds so funny to say. And like I was saying, if you can hear the game, I've got it turned down low. But if you can hear the game, please don't report me. I don't want to go to YouTube jail. But one of the things that I think we can take advantage of, which we already have been, is although I'm not necessarily saying he's a bad keeper, but Young, I believe, is only 18. Yeah, he's only 18 years old. So he's a very young keeper, and we can take advantage of that early, I believe, if we rattle his confidence. And where's he? Where is Sorry, let me look down at my phone real quick here. Salford City. Where is Young out of? Let's see. Matthew Young. Sunderland. Okay. I was wondering if Salford had actually purchased him because I know he was there for a bit last year. Okay, so he's still, or at least Wikipedia has him listed as still on loan. I don't know if that's still the case. I assume it still is. But he's a young keeper, and actually, I think these two teams match up quite well with each other. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if Salford doesn't score a goal or two, though. So that's why I think we need at least 2 to even not be sweating in this game. But I don't know about you guys. What just happened? I just missed what happened, but it looked like it was a free kick for Salford. Actually, I don't know what is happening right now. If you're in the live stream, let me know what's happening right now. That is one of the cons to not blasting the volume like I normally am. Looks like there's a lot of confusion on the pitch right now. So yeah, one of the other things I noticed was we don't have a backup keeper for the match unless that graphic was incorrect, which 99.9% of the time doesn't I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it doesn't play a role in anything. But that would be just for fun. If you're watching the replay or whenever, um, if something did happen to Pim, who? Sorry, there's a lot of action going on right now. This is actually hard to do when you're watching the game. Um, who would you want to see in the net if something were to happen to Pim? Since we don't have a reserve keeper or a backup keeper on the bench right now, my my I guess pick would be McJanet. He's a big dude. Looks like to me he's one of those guys that would go all out. Is that David Beckham and Alex for? Oh my gosh. I mean, obviously, I knew they played a role in the ownership of the club, but I don't think I've ever actually seen them at the match before. I mean, maybe that's just me because I don't watch a lot of their games, but that was cool. I only caught Ferguson and Beckham. I couldn't tell who else was there. Uh, I'll be interested to see that after this when it's halftime and see who exactly it was. But yeah, now they're definitely on the attack, but we're playing it pretty well. Um, yeah, who was that with Beckham? If you're if you're watching this, I'm actually surprised I saw him. Is that normal? Do any of you guys know? Is that normal? Do they normally watch Salford play? Again, I know the whole ownership thing, but usually when I see Bex, I live in Florida, so Bex owns Inter Miami. I see him quite active at Inter Miami and in Miami games. I've seen his wife a few times, but I see Bex all the time at training, and I know his kid used to be on the reserve team along with Neville's kid as well when he was the manager there at Inter Miami. So that was kind of cool because these are guys well, at least I grew up watching, so that was kind of cool to see. Um, but Neville, as far as I know, went to Portland, I think. I don't know if he's still there or not. I'm not a big MLS guy. Which, if you follow me on X, did you all see that MLS post that I had made? It was about it was a really shitty made graphic, but someone made a graphic of oh shit. Oh, Pim got that. That was a. Let me see the replay of this save. Yeah, that was a good save. Looked like he got that with one hand on the replay. I'll have to look at it again later, but that was quite the save actually. But anyhow, it was a chart of because I mean my wife is not from the U.S. either, and she's guilty of it too, of not realizing just how large the U.S. is compared to some countries. And it was a map of distances, and it was like Inter Miami was in Italy or something like that, and the Seattle Sounders were in the Scottish Highlands. So, and that's a normal weekend trip for some of these guys. So it was just showing you the distance. Although it was a kind of a shitty graphic, I still think it was a cool graphic though. It does show you how much the MLS guys travel. Although I still can't stand the league because there's zero benefit to winning, and the owners are hungry for money, which is what's wrong with football. And what happened here? I think Sweeney just drew a foul. Couldn't tell what happened right there. But huh. Well, before I get too distracted with the actual game, let's go over what we think of the lineup. Um, I believe this is just about as strong of a lineup as we could have out there too. And speaking of, I'm going to do a video soon. It's not going to be one of these lives like I normally do. My goal is to do one of my tier maker videos because those are very easy to edit. Do a video that I do edit a lot and spend a little bit more time doing, and do this live during game days every week. And again, hope you join me. Hope you have some conversations with me. You don't necessarily have to have the sound on, but pull up our live stream, comment on the video your thoughts on what's going on in the game, and we'll talk football. But what I was going to say was we have a lot of contracts expiring this year, and I'm going to do a video on, because I don't know if you guys remember, last year I did a video on signings where if we got promoted to League One, and signings where if we stayed in League Two. And I think I'm going to do something very similar, but I'm going to do it with our internal players versus external players. Since we do have so many contracts expiring, I'm going to go over who's expiring. I'm going to, because there are some guys that I would have if we stay in League Two, and there are some guys that I think are expendable if we go up to League One. Now, I'm going to tell you guys my opinion on if we get promoted or if we don't get promoted, on whether or not we should keep said player. And there was, I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was at least, gosh, seems like there was over 10, maybe 15, 13, 14, 15 or something like that. And yeah. So we're going to go over that and do some discussions on that. And somebody just followed me. Who was this? Well, that's a hell of a name, but I appreciate the follow. Let's say prosthetic horse. All right. Fair play to the name. That's awesome. But I appreciate the follow if you're watching this. And what are we now? We're approaching the midway point of the first half, and it's looking like Salford is attacking. And let's see here. Can I refresh this? Do they have live? Again, I'm not familiar with this app. I use a different app here in the States, but I see almost everyone in the UK using this app. Let me know. Do they do live ratings on this? Let's see. Is this the rating for today's game? I believe it is. Okay. I think I've got that figured out, so ignore that question. So we've got, let's see. Dang, they've got their goalkeeper at 7.3. No, this is season stats. Okay. Can we get today's stats, or is that only after the game? Either way, this is actually pretty cool to have up. I don't think I've seen the season stat rankings. Who's our highest ranked player? McJanet and Green? Okay, that's fair. That's very fair, actually. And they've got theirs as obviously Udo. Wow, they've got some goal scorers on their back line, don't they? I don't think I realized that. So since the last game, has there been any I know we talked about it on my live a few weeks ago about penalty kick problems. Obviously, if Rose is on the pitch, that's one thing. But if he's not on the pitch, have we Did David Artell address that? Did he say anything about the actual PKs? If he was going to take Jazz off of PKs, which I'm not against it, to be honest. So far, we've got a lot of back and forth going. That was fairly routine, a save you would expect the defense and goalkeeper to make just then. But again, you've got to be on point, because if he'd made a mistake right there, he could have easily given up a goal. All right. So it's a Salford throw in, and to anyone who watches this replay or anything, hold that thought. Oh, that should have been number 2, to be fair. Oh, that should have been number 2. But I was going to get your opinion on if you're a traveling away supporter, if you've been to their stadium. What is it called? Peninsula Stadium or Peninsula Park or something like that? What do you all think of Salford Stadium? It looks like a decent little ground, which I've always, at least here in the States, I don't know how Salford is marketed in England, but at least here in the States, I believe Salford could do more just because of, how many names are attached to their club. I don't necessarily mean from a stadium standpoint. I mean from a marketing standpoint. You've had Wrexham had all that success, obviously, but I would argue that more people here in the States, at least true fans here in the States, they would know the names that are associated with Salford more than they did Wrexham. And to be fair, with Wrexham, I knew Ryan Reynolds. I didn't have a clue who Rob, McElhenney? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I didn't really have a clue who he was before the show. I never watched his Sunny in Philadelphia, so that's kind of the main reason why. But it just seems like Salford could be one of those clubs that could find a niche if they marketed the names that are associated with them a little bit better. And just my 2 cents and thoughts for the day, I guess, on Salford. But I was going to ask, what's your opinion on the stadium? If you've been to this stadium, it looks like a decent little field and pitch. I know they had some rain problems today, but my only knowledge of that is beyond what I read on X. And I see some more people that have joined. Make sure you comment on the video if you want in on the beer drawing. Whew. If he'd been a little more accurate on that, I believe that would have went in. Who was that? Was that Harris? It was Harris. Yeah, that's one of the guys that I knew would be tough against. I actually believe he may have had Rogers beat there, but thankfully it wasn't an accurate kick. I don't know why, but those weird back passes to the goalkeeper only to boot it pissed me off for some reason. Do y'all remember that? What game was that? I forget which game it was, but I believe it was one of those games where we ended up tying it at the last second, where the ref did that drop ball, but it was almost like a momentum drop ball, which led to like a swing in free kick. Do y'all remember that? That was not one of the finer moments of the season so far, especially from a ref standpoint. Which Which, by the way, I know I've said it maybe once or twice. I'm in the process of getting my ref license here in the States, and I've thought about doing a quick little 10-minute show on every month or something of the weird shit that I experienced as a ref. Tell stories about what happened and what was said, because say what you want about refs, that's definitely got to be a hard gig. Especially at the lower leagues when you make a mistake. And to be fair, I do think the refs should be better at this level, but that's neither here nor there. So Young with a boot. I'm going to be honest, for what I've seen from Young, I actually think he's got a decent future. I believe he's been in some England youth camps. Could be wrong about that, but I believe he has. Ah, man, that should have been another. And that's another thing I don't know whether to feel happy about or annoyed about, because we are getting a little spoiled with the chances we can create. But I also feel like the chances that we connect on and actually score on should be a lot higher than what they are. And I know you can't ask for them all, but with how last season ended, missing out on the playoffs just barely, you can't help but cringe every time a good chance is missed, because you know how valuable these goals can be and points can be. Which, speaking of points, have you guys seen who or at least as of this morning, I don't know if they've played some matches today or not, who the leading goal scorer in the League of Ireland is? Any guesses? Any guesses on that one? It's former Mariner himself. It's Podge. Which, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he the leading scorer when he was in town? Not necessarily for the league, but wasn't he Grimsby's leading scorer that year when he played when Podge Amon played for us? Apologize if I'm saying his last name wrong. He's got a very hard name to pronounce. I just call him Podge like most people. And sorry if you're watching this on the replay. I keep repeating myself, but I keep seeing people kind of join. And I just want to remind everybody to read the pinned comment, because I definitely want to give back to you guys. Up the Amy's. Hey, fair play. Fair play. Matter of fact, I actually just found out this morning how the Amy's got their name. I was making a cool little. Well, I wasn't really cool. I was making this funny little chat GPT of fish slaying a lion, and I incorrectly assumed the nickname of the club might be something that had to do with the lion or the mane or something. But I saw it was the Amy's, and I was reading the story about the origin of the Amy's, where the nickname came from, and I thought that was pretty cool. So that was a nice little story there if you're from Salford. And if you want to elaborate on it, by all means, go for it. I'd love to hear more. And I'm writing down some names here that have commented. Defer. I didn't see that comment. Okay. But anyway, as I was saying about Young, I think but I don't know. Sorry, guys. It looks like my mic died. I don't know how long ago my mic died. So if you've been hearing me through the computer audio for a while, I'm definitely sorry about that. But yeah, not sure how I felt about that one being out just outside the box, but we've got only 1 minute stoppage time, so this might be one of the last plays of the first half. Let's see. I don't think it was a bad shot, but Salford definitely had a lot of bodies in the box there to defend that one well. I believe that might do it for the first half. Who was that out on? Was that out on Salford? I couldn't really tell. That was close. Okay, we got a corner, so this is probably going to be the last play of the first half. Looks like it's windy there, too. I can see the trees in the background. Wow. That definitely might affect this corner. We'll see. Let's see what happens. Hey, can't argue with that. That was good. What can you do? And I'm guessing that's going to end the first half. And it is. All right, guys. I got a couple of names down for my free beer drawing at the end of the month. Just remember, if you're watching the replay, leave a comment, and I will enter you in for the beer drawing or drink drawing, whatever you want. Just my way of saying thank you for supporting me. And I will see you all on X for the second half. If you're at the game, have a safe trip back, and hopefully we hold this lead. Otherwise, I'll talk to you in a little bit on X. Peace out, guys.